Have you ever wondered why you met that one person? Have you ever thought marriage or friendship was just chance, or asked why some people bring you pain while others bring joy? Hello friends, and welcome back to Son.Mindfulness. Here we share meaningful stories about karma, destiny, and the deeper truths of life. I am truly glad you are here today. In life, many of us struggle with the same questions. Why did I meet this person and not another? Why do some people stay for a lifetime while others pass briefly through our path? These questions can leave us restless, even bitter, and sometimes blaming fate. But the Buddha left us a timeless teaching. Every encounter, every relationship has a reason. Nothing happens by pure accident. This video will help you understand that truth. We will explore why all relationships are bound by karma, and more importantly, how we can plant new seeds to transform old karma. When we do, our relationships can become lighter, kinder, and more beautiful. Do you want to know how to keep love alive for the long years? Do you wonder why some couples grow closer with age, while others grow apart? Do you want to discover the key to turning every connection into a blessing? If so, stay with me until the end of this video. I believe you will find at least one precious insight for yourself. Son.Mindfulness is dedicated to bringing peace, wisdom, and the light of the Buddha's teachings into daily life. If you find these reflections helpful, please support us by subscribing to the channel. Your support gives us the strength to continue sharing love and wisdom with more people. I wish you and your family good health, peace, happiness, and good fortune. Thank you for being here today. Now let us begin the main journey. And we start with this important truth. In life, there is no such thing as a random meeting. Part 1. No one comes into our life by accident. Hello friends, today I invite you to sit quietly for a moment. Imagine we are sharing a warm cup of tea on a calm afternoon. I want to tell you something very important. In this life, no meeting is ever by chance. Have you ever wondered among millions of people why you met that one person? A life partner? A dear friend? Or even someone who brought you pain? Was it simply luck, coincidence, or misfortune? The Buddha taught that everything in this world arises from causes, conditions, and karma. I remember one elderly woman in America who confided to me. She said, "I met my husband at a party. If I had not gone that night, I would never have married him. Was that fate?" I smiled and replied, "No, it was not random fate. It was karmic destiny." That single meeting was not an accident. It was the result of countless conditions, perhaps from many lifetimes before. Even modern science offers insights that echo this truth. Psychologists say we are often unconsciously drawn to familiar types of people. Sometimes they remind us of parents, childhood friends, or unresolved bonds from the past. Buddhism goes further. Those familiar feelings do not come only from this life, but also from connections formed over many past lives. Think about it. Have you ever met someone for the first time, yet felt instantly close, like family? Or met someone else, and without a word felt uncomfortable, almost as if there was unfinished business? That is the trace of karma, seeds planted long ago now ripening into fruit. Another example. A woman in her 70s once came to see me at the temple. She said, "I have lived a good life, but why do I always meet unkind people who take advantage of me?" I gently told her, "Perhaps in a past life you owed them. Perhaps you once caused them harm. Now they return so you may repay that debt and learn compassion and letting go. This meeting is not meaningless. It is the chance to finish old business." She grew silent for a long time, then tears filled her eyes. But they were not bitter tears. They were tears of understanding. Do you see? When we realize that every encounter has a deeper reason, we stop blaming life. We stop saying, "Why is life so unfair?" Instead, we begin asking, "What seed did I plant to receive this today?" That shift in perspective brings lightness and peace to the heart. So if you are facing someone who causes you pain, please do not see it as random punishment. See it as karmic destiny, a chance to grow wiser and stronger. And if you have someone in your life who loves and protects you, be grateful. For that too is karmic fruit, a blessing from seeds sown long ago. My dear friends, every encounter has a reason. No one enters our life too early, no one leaves too late. Everyone comes at the right time when the karmic fruit is ready. When we understand this truth, we learn to live with more peace. We learn to appreciate every relationship in our lives. Part 2. 4 types of karma that lead to marriage. Dear friends, in the Buddhist teachings, the Buddha explained that marriage in this life is not a random meeting. It often arises from 4 clear types of karma: repaying kindness, repaying hostility, repaying debt, and collecting debt. At first, this may sound unusual. But if you look closely at the marriages around us, you will see these patterns clearly. Some couples spend a lifetime caring for each other with deep affection. This happens because, in a past life, one person helped or protected the other. In this life, they meet again to repay that kindness. Their love is not only affection, but also gratitude carried deep in the heart. I once met a man who told me, "I don't know how my wife can be so patient. I have been ill for many years and she has never left me. Is that just love?" I smiled and said, "Yes, it is love, but it is also the repayment of a debt of kindness from a past life." Then there are couples who argue constantly, living almost like enemies under the same roof. The Buddha explained this as repaying hostility. Perhaps in a past life they harmed each other or left deep resentment unresolved. Now they meet again, marry, and clash repeatedly as they slowly pay off that karmic debt of anger. But even in such relationships, transformation is possible. If both partners practice patience, mindfulness, and forgiveness, old resentment can eventually turn into harmony. I once spoke with an elderly man in California, over 80 years old. He said, "When we were young, my wife and I argued all the time. Every day we fought. But now in old age, I don't know why, but I love her more than ever." I told him, that is karmic hostility slowly dissolving. After many years together, patience and forgiveness soften the bitterness, leaving only love. The third type is repaying debt. In a past life, one person owed money, affection, or responsibility to another. In this life, marriage becomes the path to repayment. The one repaying often works tirelessly, sacrificing greatly, while the other seems more at ease. From the outside, it may look unfair, but through the eyes of karma, it is repayment in progress. And finally, the fourth type, collecting debt. When someone gave help or loaned something in a past life, they may meet again in this life to collect what is owed. In such marriages, you may notice one partner constantly demanding, while the other bears the burden. The collector often lives with ease, while the debtor struggles, sometimes to exhaustion. It may sound harsh, but it is the fair turning of karmic balance. Have you ever asked yourself, why does one person have a loving, gentle spouse, while another suffers endlessly in marriage? The answer may lie within these 4 karmic patterns. When we understand this, we stop blaming ourselves or blaming life. Instead of saying, "I was unlucky, I married the wrong person," we can breathe deeply and say, "This is karmic destiny. I am either repaying or collecting a debt from another lifetime." This understanding helps us suffer less and resent less. It gives us the chance to transform our relationships through compassion and wisdom. Because karma is not a life sentence. Karma is a lesson. It is here to teach us how to love, how to forgive, and how to let go. Part 3. The special karma of 3 life bonds. Dear friends, in Buddhist teaching, there is a type of karma even deeper than the 4 we mentioned before. Beyond repaying kindness, repaying hostility, repaying debt, and collecting debt. It is called the 3 life bond. It is compared to words carved into a sacred stone, a vow that endures through time. This bond connects the past life, the present life, and the future life. If two people shared many good deeds together in the past, they will find each other again in this life. And if they continue to live with compassion, keeping their hearts pure, they will meet again in the next life. It is like a promise carved in stone, not easily erased. Have you ever met someone and felt, I have known this person for a very long time? That strange sense of familiarity that logic cannot explain. This may be the sign of a three-life bond. I recall a story from a small temple in San Jose. An elderly woman told me about her first meeting with her husband. She said it was not like love at first sight. Instead, it felt warm, as if she had finally found a long-lost relative. They lived together for more than 50 years. They raised children, endured hardship, and faced illness side by side. At the end of her life, she said, I am not sure if this is the kind of love people talk about, but I know this man is someone I promised to meet again from another life. Her words touched me deeply. For in Buddhism, love is not only attraction, it is also continuation. It is the quiet unfolding of vows whispered across many lifetimes. But a three-life bond is not unbreakable. If in this life two people create new harm, live without care, or allow their love to fade, the connection will weaken. And in the next life they may not meet again. On the other hand, if they respect one another, practice together, and do good deeds together, the bond grows stronger. It does not end with one short lifetime, but stretches across many generations of existence. Think of it like two seeds planted side by side. If each season brings sunlight and water, they will grow into two tall trees standing together through the years. But if one season they are neglected, the trees may wither and fall. A three-life bond is just like that. This teaches us a powerful lesson. Never take our current relationships for granted. If we love and respect each other today, we are writing the next chapter of destiny. A chapter that may allow us to meet again in peace in another life. But if we are careless, selfish, or cause each other harm, we may erase a vow carved into stone long ago. My friends, a three-life bond is a rare blessing. If you feel you have someone like this in your life, perhaps a spouse, a child, or a close friend, please cherish them. Because it may be that they have walked beside you through many lifetimes. And if you treasure them now, they may continue to walk with you in the lives yet to come. Part 4. How to keep this bond alive across lifetimes. Dear friends, if the three-life bond is such a rare blessing, then an important question arises. How do we protect it and nurture it, so that it lasts not only for this life, but also into the next? The Buddha gave 3 very clear instructions. The first is respect one another. It sounds simple, yet many marriages and relationships break apart because this is missing. Respect means recognizing the other person's worth, never belittling, never forcing. Respect means that even in disagreement we keep a gentle voice and allow space to breathe. I once heard an old gentleman tell me, the secret to 60 years of marriage is one word: respect. I respect her. She respects me. That is enough. The second is do good together. There is a Buddhist saying, when husband and wife practice together, the household flourishes. When two people share not only their private happiness, but also join hands in good deeds, whether small acts like helping a neighbor or larger efforts like charity work, they add blessings to their bond. Have you ever seen an elderly couple volunteering at a temple? They may not use many sweet words, but when you see them washing dishes side by side, cleaning tables, or cooking for the community, you can feel their love. It is quiet, simple, and enduring. The third and most important is to awaken the Bodhi mind. This means that love is not confined to just two people. It expands outward to embrace all beings. When a couple vows to live not only for their own joy, but for the benefit of others, their love transcends possession and selfishness. It becomes a journey of compassion and purpose. I remember a couple in Seattle. After retirement, they opened a free kitchen for the homeless. The husband once told me, "We do this not only to help others, but also to keep our love alive. Each time we cook together, it feels like the early days of our marriage." Friends, love based only on emotion fades easily. But love based on respect, shared good deeds, and the Bodhi mind flows like a river, never running dry. If you are blessed with a companion in this life, try practicing these 3 things. Respect each other, share acts of kindness, and expand your love beyond yourselves. Then the bond between you will grow stronger than anything else. And when this life comes to an end, that bond will bloom again in the next, like a flower opening once more in the spring. Part 5. Not meeting in this life is not always a loss. Dear friends, sometimes in life we carry a quiet sadness. Why did I not meet the right person? Why did the one I love deeply never become my partner, while the person who came into my life did not feel right? Some people sigh and say, maybe in a past life I failed to plant good seeds, so this life I suffer. But the Buddha taught, not meeting someone in this life does not always mean bad karma. There are bonds that run very deep, but sometimes the blessings are not enough, the timing is not right, or the place is not aligned. So 2 people cannot meet in this lifetime. It is like a seed planted in the soil. If there is no sun, no rain, the seed cannot sprout. Not because the seed is bad, but because the conditions are not yet complete. Have you heard the story of 2 people who loved each other deeply, yet because of family or circumstance, they could not be together? Most people see that as tragedy. But in the light of Buddha's teaching, it may simply be a bond waiting for the right conditions. It may ripen in another life when blessings are stronger. I remember a Buddhist in Houston who once shared with me. He said, "I loved a girl in my youth, but we could not marry. Even now, I still feel regret." I smiled and replied, "Do not regret. If the bond is deep, you will meet again in another life. And if you do not, it means the debt of love has been repaid. You can walk forward freely." Sometimes in past lives, people chose the path of renunciation. They lived as monks or nuns without marriage. So in this life, they feel no pull toward romantic ties. That is not misfortune. It is simply the continuation of the path they once chose. Look around and you may see people who live alone, yet live with peace and fullness. They are not lacking, not lonely. They have found meaning in quietness and in offering goodness to the world. The key lesson is this. When we understand that everything has a reason, we stop blaming ourselves or blaming life. It is not because we are unlucky. It is not because heaven is unfair. It is simply because the conditions are not yet complete. And when conditions are not complete, our task is not to despair. It is to keep planting good seeds. Like a farmer who sees that one season the rice does not sprout. He does not abandon the field. He continues to till the soil, to care for it, waiting for the next season of growth. So friends, if in this life you have not met the one you hoped for, do not grieve. It may be that karma is protecting you. It may be giving you more time to practice, more time to grow, before you meet the true bond that awaits. And sometimes, living peacefully on your own is also a great blessing. Because in the end, happiness is not about having someone beside you. It is about whether your own heart rests in peace. Part 6. Do not blame everything on past life karma. Dear friends, in daily life we often fall into a common habit. When we see 2 people deeply in love, we quickly say, they must have been husband and wife in a past life. Or when we see a couple always arguing, we assume they must have owed each other from before, so now they suffer. It may sound reasonable, but the Buddha taught us not to label every relationship as the result of past lives. Doing so can lead to wrong views, a distorted way of seeing cause and effect. When people misunderstand karma, they often become careless or fatalistic. They think, I must have created bad karma before, so now I just have to endure it. But that mindset makes us lose our greatest power, the power to create new causes right now. You have heard the saying, as the seed, so the fruit. That is true not only for the past, but also for every thought, word, and action in this very moment. If we believe everything is fixed by the past, we stop taking responsibility for the present. We forget that today's choices shape tomorrow's results. I remember a Buddhist friend once telling me, my husband drinks heavily. I think it must be our karma from the past, so I just accept it. I replied, not exactly. His drinking is also a habit and a choice in the present. If you only blame the past, you will not look for ways to help him change. Karma is real, but the present actions are what decide the future. The Buddha once said, to know the causes of the past, look at the results you see today. To know the results of the future, look at the actions you do today. So karma is not an excuse to give up. Karma is a reminder to live mindfully in the present. Think about it. One harsh word today can plant the seed of tomorrow's argument. One kind gesture today can plant the seed of lasting joy for someone else. That is present karma, the seeds we plant each day. So instead of quickly labeling a relationship, it must be from a past life. Ask a better question. What am I planting in this relationship right now? If we plant understanding, we will harvest peace. If we plant selfishness, we will harvest loneliness. If we plant compassion, we will harvest happiness. Friends, cause and effect is always fair. It does not follow feelings, it does not play favorites. It always begins from the present moment. So rather than looking at everything through the vague lens of past lives, start by living with kindness in this life. Because only the present is the true field where we can plant wholesome seeds. Part 7. Understanding karma helps us live peacefully. Dear friends, have you ever wondered, why do kind and gentle people still suffer so much? And why do selfish or dishonest people sometimes live in wealth and comfort? If we look only with ordinary eyes, life seems unfair. But under the light of the Buddha's teaching, we see the truth. Karma never plays favorites. It simply ripens when the time is right. A good person who suffers today is still repaying old debts from the past. A greedy person who enjoys wealth today is living off blessings planted long ago. When those blessings run out, suffering will come. And when painful karma is repaid, peace will return. Think of a field. Some seeds sprout quickly, after only a few days of rain. Others must wait until the next season to grow. Karma works the same way. Some fruits ripen in this life. Others appear in the next life. Or even many lifetimes later. This reminds us of something important. Do not judge too quickly. When you see someone living in luxury, do not rush to call them lucky. When you see someone suffering, do not assume they are cursed. Blessings and misfortunes both follow cycles. Each is the result of seeds once planted. An elderly woman in California once asked me, "Teacher, I have lived kindly all my life. Why am I sick again and again in old age?" I replied, "Dear one, some old debts still need to be repaid. But because you also planted goodness, when illness comes, your children and grandchildren care for you with love. That is your blessing appearing alongside the hardship." When we understand karma, we stop blaming life. We no longer say, "Why is heaven so unfair to me?" Because we know clearly, the causes were planted by ourselves. Understanding karma also keeps us humble when enjoying blessings. We stop believing that wealth or power comes only from being more talented than others. We see instead that it is simply old merit ripening. And if we stop planting new seeds of goodness, that blessing will fade away, like an oil lamp running dry. With this vision of cause and effect, our hearts grow calmer. Success does not make us arrogant. Failure does not make us despair. Fame and fortune no longer blind us. Suffering no longer destroys us. Everything becomes a lesson of karma, reminding us to live with kindness each day. And when we understand this, life feels lighter. We learn to appreciate what we already have, whether little or much. We learn to accept hardship as repayment of an old debt. We learn to keep planting good seeds so that sweet fruits will ripen in the future. Friends, to understand karma is the path to peace. Because once we see clearly, we stop blaming, we stop fearing, we stop envying. What remains is a calm heart. A heart that chooses kindness, chooses love, and knows how to let go. Part 8. Planting good karma to build beautiful relationships. Dear friends, in the earlier parts, we spoke about old karma, repaying kindness, repaying debt, paying back hostility, or even the rare three-life bond. But now I want to highlight something even more important. It is the new karma we plant today. Because it is present karma that truly decides the future of all our relationships. Think about it. Sometimes just one gentle glance or one kind word can change the entire atmosphere of a home. And sometimes one harsh sentence can turn warmth into coldness or distance loved ones from each other. That is the power of new karma, created in every moment of the present. So how do we plant good karma? First, through compassion. When a thought of kindness arises in the heart, it shows in our eyes, our words, and our actions. Have you noticed how elderly grandparents often become gentle and beloved, so children and grandchildren love to be near them? That is because they have spent years planting seeds of compassion, and now they reap peace and closeness. Second, through kind speech. A timely compliment, a gentle word of encouragement, can be more precious than an expensive gift. But one careless criticism, even unintentional, can damage a bond. The Buddha said, words can be like sweet honey, nourishing joy, or words can be like arrows, piercing the heart. Third, through wholesome actions. Do not think only great deeds count as good karma. Offering a seat to the elderly, carrying a neighbor's heavy bag, or cooking a meal with love for family, these are seeds of goodness planted in the field of merit. We must also learn to let go and to forgive. If we cling to resentment, even living under the same roof, a relationship will slowly wither. Forgiveness does not mean erasing the past. It means not letting old wounds continue to hurt us again and again. When we release, we become truly free. And most importantly, practice mindfulness in daily life. Mindfulness keeps us aware, so that in anger we do not speak words we will regret. Mindfulness teaches us to pause, to breathe, and to choose planting a seed of kindness instead of one of harm. A study in America showed that couples who practice mindfulness together, such as walking in silence or sitting quietly to breathe each day, are far more likely to maintain lasting happiness. This is proof that the Buddha's teaching is not distant or abstract. It is practical and deeply relevant to daily life. Friends, we cannot change the karma already planted in the past, but we can create new karma right now. If today we plant compassion, kind speech, good deeds, forgiveness, and mindfulness, tomorrow our relationships will grow healthier, lighter, and happier. And when we leave this life, we will carry those seeds with us. They will continue to blossom in lives to come. This is how we build not just a happy marriage or a peaceful family, but a long journey of love, stretching across lifetimes. Conclusion. Dear friends, we have traveled a long journey together. From understanding that no meeting in life is ever by chance, to the 4 types of karma that bring people together, to the rare and precious 3-life bond. We have also learned how to sustain that bond through respect, good deeds, and the Bodhi mind. We have seen that not meeting someone in this life is not always misfortune. And most importantly, we have discovered why we should not blame everything on past lives. because karma is alive in every choice we make today. Do you feel lighter knowing you still have the power to plant new seeds? Have you ever cursed your fate, only to later realize it was a hidden lesson? All relationships are woven from karma, but we always have the choice to plant new seeds in the present. If today we plant compassion, tomorrow we will meet peace. If today we plant kind words, tomorrow we will harvest joy. If today we plant forgiveness, tomorrow we will see smiles return. If today we plant mindfulness, tomorrow we will know true freedom. An elderly friend once told me, "Teacher, I am old. I don't know how much time I have left." I smiled and said, "As long as you plant one good seed each day, every day that remains will carry meaning." Do you agree? By living this way, we transform old karma, and at the same time, we create a peaceful future for ourselves and for everyone we meet. So I invite you to reflect. What seed will you plant today for the one beside you? A word of thanks, a warm embrace, or simply a gentle smile? If you practice this each day, I believe your life will slowly become lighter and filled with blessings. Thank you for listening and walking with me through this reflection. If you found these words meaningful, please subscribe and continue to follow Son.Mindfulness. Share your thoughts in the comments below. I truly look forward to hearing your reflections and experiences. I wish you and your family good health. May you live in peace, happiness, and may good fortune always find you on your path. With gratitude.